Looks like I have got a hodgepodge of tasks and things to do today, and I'm inviting you to come and join me as we take care of these few different things. Plus, we'll maybe talk about a few things. Come and join us. Okay, it's starting to rain. That's just going to pretty much ruin my shooting schedule for today. So we're probably going to have to go inside and just talk about a few things. So let's do that. Everybody buckled?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, so before we get to our question and answer session, we're going to go out for dinner. Okay, there you go. Some Zinfandel. Me, I like my Reunity on ice. So,
Thank you.
welcome to our wrap-up of Season 2. We're going to do some Q&As right now. And if you have other questions than what we covered today, put them in the comments below. That way we can address them in the future videos. So, here we go. First question. What was it that inspired you to buy an RV in the first place? I'd have to say that it was twofold. One, it was the pandemic. We had a vacation scheduled and we had to cancel that vacation. We were flying out to the West Coast when the pandemic hit, and we had to cancel that, and then we decided, well, what are we going to do? Just sit around all summer long doing nothing? And we thought, well, it might be a good time to look at trailers. The reason that we decided to look at trailers was because of some of the videos that we were watching on YouTube. And they kind of inspired us to, well, let's take a look at that. Let's do some more research. And that's what kind of inspired me. What about you?
Well, we had been doing a lot of homework through the winter time because we had been considering it. and we watched a lot of YouTubes as to what we wanted, what we didn't want, what we would consider getting, and
Yep.
what we absolutely didn't want. By the time we said, okay, we will go out and look at them, we had done enough research that we decided, since we couldn't take our vacation that we wanted to, let's try this. And it's been a good choice. The day that we went to look at them, they actually had the model that we wanted.
Yep.
And so that made all the difference in the world. And, you know, if we hadn't have gotten it that day, we wouldn't have gotten it for the season, because
Right.
everything just started flying off the lots. And as it was, we live an hour and a half away from the lot that we chose.
Yep.
It was much less expensive because we were bringing a piece of home with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so that really worked out well.
Okay, so the next question is, how does the Frontier handle pulling the trailer? And the answer to that is it handles really well. This is a small trailer, and the V6 6-liter engine handles really well. The highest RPM I ever got up to was 45 RPM, and that was going up a very steep incline, bringing the trailer home. But other than that, it does really well.
It does. It really does. We wanted to find a rig that would go with the truck that we currently have.
Right.
That was another thing that we went ahead and made the decision that day, because a lot of the rigs are very heavy, and this one is not, but it's the right weight for our truck.
Yep.
And really the correct size for us.
We've enjoyed it a lot. Third question. Favorite trip outing this summer? What was our favorite trip and outing that we did? What was your favorite?
I think going up to Bar Harbor. I really enjoyed that. That was something totally different. And we got to go to Acadia, the national park. When we lived out west, we used to be able to go to more of the national parks. And it's something we haven't done for a very long time. And so to be able to go out and do that and take our whole family, including Disney and Elsa, and just go explore, and then be able to come back to our rig and do dinner and sit by the campfire I really enjoyed that.
I think my favorite outing was going to the Polar Caves, which was really fun, taking the kids out there. It was hot, but beyond that, we enjoyed squeezing through those rocks and watching the grandkids run around. It was a good time to blow off steam.
Yes.
After being cooped up for a while.
It was one of the hottest weekends that we had of the summer. Though we had a lot of hot weekends this year.
But it was an excellent outing for that hot day, because once you got into the caves, it was nice and cool.
Yes.
Other than that, I think the trolley ride was a good thing.
Oh, it was. That was something really different that we had not done before.
Yep.
And we learned some things, some interesting things. Everything thereof obviously was very old, but it was good for Connor and Cameron to experience some of the history and see how things used to be way back in the day.
Yep. Okay, question number 4. How did the pandemic affect your trips? It really didn't. I mean, we wore masks when we were in town and doing shopping wherever it was required. But other than that, we were able to go just about anywhere in New Hampshire. It did affect us in that we had to stay within New England. We couldn't leave New England. Otherwise, we would have to quarantine someplace.
Yeah.
And we chose not to go that route because we were only doing pretty much weekend trips.
We went down to Cape Cod.
We did go down to Cape Cod.
We were able to go out and about around there, and really, again, it was just wearing the masks.
There was one rule that in the campground there at Cape Cod where they said you weren't allowed to have any guests in the campground. Normally they would have done that,
right.
But because of the pandemic, they wouldn't allow that.
We went down to Mystic. We were able to have guests there for a couple of hours, which worked out great.
Right, and that was later in the summer when things had opened up a little bit more.
Yeah. So I think we got to do a lot and see a lot, even staying just within the New England area.
Yeah. And if you want to come to New England next summer, please do. It's a great place to tour.
And to see, some of the history of our country.
Yeah. Question number 5. For all you dog owners, how did the dogs do on your trips? I'll let you answer that one.
Our dogs did great. From the time that they could see we were filming the rig getting ready to go, they were watching out the window, they were talking to us like, okay, is it time to go yet? We're waiting, don't forget us. So we took them on all but the Cape Cod trip.
Right.
Once they got in the truck, Disney especially had a smile on his face from the time we left our driveway to the time we got to the campground.
Yeah.
And set up.
He really conquered those rocks in Acadia too.
Oh, he did. He had a great time. In fact, it was like, come on, let's go. What's keeping ya? He was kind of leading the way, which was really great.
Yeah, dogs. Yeah, I mean, they add a lot to the trip.
They absolutely did.
I know Elsa had some stomach issues on a couple of the trips. I think it was probably we gave her water from those campgrounds, and it didn't sit well with her.
Yeah, I think we're going to do bottled water for the dogs.
Yeah. Question number 6. How many can you sleep in the trailer? Well, let me put it this way. How many did sleep in the trailer? Only 2. That was just us.
2 and the dogs.
Well, yeah, and the dogs. But we probably could, if we really had to, sleep 4.
Yes.
We could probably fit our 2 grandkids in here, but we'd have to bring in like an extra cot, and we put like Connor, because he's getting really tall. We put him on the floor on the cot, and then we let Cameron sleep on the couch here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be the recliners
Just
out,
the couch.
but he would sleep across it because he's short enough to do that.
Yeah.
Question number 7. Was there a learning curve? Well, I don't know. Was there a learning curve for me?
Yes. There was a learning curve, and I think there is for everyone that gets a rig for the first time. Though it's an extension of our home, there's lots of different things one has to do, especially when you're getting ready to go and when you're turning around and coming home. And that's the hitching up and unhitching of the trailer. There's certain steps that one has to take, and we've covered those this season.
My learning curve was following
Our steps
in order.
Yes.
If I didn't have her there to read me the steps, I would get ahead of myself and I would make errors.
And the biggest thing is take your time. Don't get pressured.
Right. Take your time. There was the one time that I, got everything set up and I was very distracted, and I found out that the power cord wouldn't reach. Now, if I had an extension, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah.
But I had to rehook the trailer and move it, about 10 feet closer to the power outlet. Question number 8. What was your favorite campground?
Well, I would definitely say Bar Harbor.
Bar Harbor, okay.
It was very nice because even though there were 300 sites, which is a large campground, they kind of had it sectioned off so that, there were loops. And so you could take walks out to the actual, there was like a lake area, so we were able to take the dogs for a walk that way, or you could walk through the shady campground area, or there was the area that we were in. I liked Pine Haven.
Pine Haven.
I thought that was really nice. It was a little buggy, but we had such a nice site. Number 3, Meredith Woods. I really liked Meredith a lot.
Yeah. My favorite campground, hands down, was Meredith Woods. It was just lovely. I thought lots of pines, very quiet.
Yes.
It was wide sights. I loved that one. Number 9. Anything you would do different? There's a couple of things I would do different.
Well, I was just gonna say the night that you talked and the night that we had to rehitch the truck.
Yeah.
Definitely would be different
That
things.
would definitely be different. Question number 10. What is the best time to buy an RV? Not now. There was a run on them right after we bought ours. A lot of people went out and started buying this. As a matter of fact, when we went to buy ours, they said, okay, you're going to get this price today because it's the last day of the month. But if you wait till tomorrow, the price is going to go up because we expect more people to start buying, and we expect the supply to go down because of the pandemic. And that's exactly what happened. So we got a really great deal on this one.
We did.
And the couple that came into the store right behind us, they wanted the same model, and they had to wait for a few months to get theirs because ours was the last one on the lot, and I'm sure their price went up. So I would say if you're actually gonna take the dive, do what you can do now.
Do your homework.
Do your homework. Do your research. Know what you can afford, and start small, but start now as soon as you can.
Yeah.
But be cautious because there are some people jacking up the prices out there.
Yeah, that's the other thing that we've heard.
It's supply and demand.
Yep.
You know, so you may want to wait till the demand goes down a little bit and the supply lines kick back in. Our last question: what are some of the YouTube channels that you guys watch? Well, yeah, we've mentioned that we've watched YouTube channels to do some of our research. The ones that I would recommend would be Keep Your Daydream. We like their videos.
Yeah.
And the RV Odd Couple.
Yeah.
They have some really good information, as does Long Long Honeymoon. We really appreciate their videos a lot.
Yeah, we got a lot of tips from them as to how to set up our rig, what some of the things that we would need, and that really did help us out a lot for choices that we needed to make. And then you make it your own.
So other videos that we like to watch Traveling Robert, and I love the journeys that he goes on, and locations. It's good research for where we might want to go in the future. We like to watch a lot of vlogs. As a matter of fact, I tend to watch vlogs more often than I do regular TV now.
Well, at least they're not controversial.
Nor political.
Yes.
Particularly in this season.
Yes.
Well, I think that's going to wrap up our video for today, and this concludes Season 2 of the Grandstreeters. We hope you've enjoyed coming along in the journey with us.
Yes.
We've certainly enjoyed having you.
Yes.
And I hope that you'll subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the streets.
Bye.